Good morning everyone. In this video I'm going to analyze the live price action for EU and DXY to see what opportunities there may be today. You're going to see my strategy and my analysis, so if you're interested in those then please stick around. Alright, we're starting off here on the daily. We have EU on the top, DXY on the bottom. So what's the daily showing us? Well, so far we're bullish today. We're way above our previous daily highs, buy side liquidity, right, from the previous day and day before that. And there's no sign of any sort of bearish reversal from those buy side liquidity points. Of course, on DXY, which is our inverse, we're bearish so far today. It's possible price is being drawn to a better buy side liquidity source, maybe just above here where we violated the previous weekly high, or as I've mentioned in the past, we have this sort of inducement here for this daily order block above. So it may be drawn right up into this premium on the daily leg, right? So if we're using this leg here currently for our price action, this would be the extreme premium. We can see if price reaches up to here and if it provides any resistance or not. But like I said, we watch out to see how price reacts from a day trading perspective, from above this high here, above this high as well, to see if that buy side liquidity causes anything. The same goes for DXY, of course, as well, with this low that we recently violated the previous weekly low on Monday. However, as I've mentioned before, in terms of divergence, we're very far away from these lows here on DXY. So it's possible future divergence if we do make it up into these areas, indicating a strong DXY, right? So possible resistance with SMC divergence if we get there. So I think that's about everything for the daily. Let's drop down to the 4 hours, see what that shows us. Now, price didn't move loads yesterday. I believe it was still an inside bar day. So if this was the previous bearish day, we had this bullish day from here to here, which was still within that. So yeah, price is still sort of within some sort of range here. But at the moment, you could say we're bullish, possibly aiming for these highs, right? So we'll see where price goes. The candles don't have loads of momentum. They haven't recently, right? We've just been going up and down, and then the candles are getting smaller and smaller and just progressive. So probably quite corrective on the lower time frames there. We're still way up in a premium, which is why, of course, I haven't been looking at buys, especially when we're so close to buy side liquidity targets and whatnot. But we'll see on the lower time frame. There may be some sort of signals, but price has been very corrective lately. We have the daily draw just above, and we have the buy side liquidity just above here, so we can see how price reacts from this area. I'll just draw it out so it's clear. So this is our near term buy side liquidity target, I would say, just above that previous weekly high, which caused that bearish momentum. I don't believe this 4 hour chart is live. Every now and again it doesn't move live on DXY in this window, but if there is this divergence, this distance here, we may take this high before we take this low, which may indicate some sort of strength from DXY, at least in the short term. So we may get some sort of bearish move from there. On the 4 hour, not much has changed since yesterday. As I said, we're still within this sort of range here, waiting to see what price is going to do. We're fairly corrective, but like I said, we've got that near term buy side liquidity to look for possible shorts from. We've got these POIs above here that may draw price even higher. And then above that near-term buy-side liquidity from here, we have this high here, which also we need to keep an eye on to see what buy-side liquidity may do if we've reached that area, right? But as I mentioned, we're very far away from this low here. So more than likely some sort of future divergence if we continue bullish on EU. We have no clear POIs or anything. We have some gaps as we're making our way in price. So same as yesterday, I don't see any good confluences for me to work with just yet on the 4 hour. We're creating a bit of structure here, so we'll see if we break that structure or break this structure and how we close out. I think that's enough as well for the 4 hour. Let's go down to the 1 hour, see what that shows us. So to continue with what I was saying yesterday on the 1 hour, again, price corrective downwards, corrective upwards, right? We aren't really going anywhere and creating new structures just yet with any momentum. Look, loads of wicks, no real POIs being left for us that are clear. We have some imbalance gaps on the way up, but like I said, nothing very clear for me. We know when we have good price action. You know, if we have this sort of explosive price action here, clear order block with imbalance over here, right? I like that sort of stuff. That gives me a good structure. So I'm waiting to see, you know, even if we create structure here, sweep these highs and break the low and stuff like that, it gives us more of a sense of direction. So we had our buy side liquidity trend line once we came down because we created all these little highs, and then now we've come up correctively. We've left these sell side liquidity lows that we may eventually come for also. So patiently waiting, same as yesterday. I think we need to be patient. I think it's CPI day today. So later on in the NY session, things may get a bit more interesting. So we're going to need to see how the M15 order flow goes. I would prefer the 1 hour at least to look better than this. Some higher time frame POIs would be useful, or some very clear momentum on the lower time frame, M15 at least, with order flow to show some direction. But I think the best thing for me to do now with this patience is probably wait for some sort of liquidity high on the high time frame, like this 1 hour high here. See if we take that and then look for the lower time frame to switch. That will give me a bit more confidence. I would prefer shorts and sells because we are in that premium of price. We are kind of in this confluence, even though it hasn't created new structure really. But because of where we are in price and because of the way we're creating this corrective trend line, yes, I'll see what we're going to do with this buy side liquidity here, or possibly even this high here. I would just prefer if it was doing buys, it would be a lot more into a discount, right, or some clear high time frame low sell side liquidity. So just getting out of the way so how I'm thinking is very clear to you. With all that said, let's go down to the M15, see if that's given us anything, any hints on how to proceed with this price action today. So with this current M15 price action, right, you can see that we just kind of swept this Asia low. That gave us a bit more of a bullish push, right? The low sweep was more clear on the buy side liquidity of DXY. We can see that there. Buy side liquidity swept, bearish, coming for that trend line through Asia, right? Which may continue going to the other side of Asia, right? For that sell side liquidity, buy side liquidity. Now, of course, once we sweep this buy side liquidity, if we sweep it, we may close above it very strongly. We can look for possibly price to break down, right? Look for this low to go. Right? It doesn't have to go this far down, but look for this low to be closed beyond, and then we can look for that pullback to our lower time frame order block in imbalance to go short from. Now, of course, that is one element. The danger of that is we have a better buy side liquidity target above. Price has been, you know, still maintaining this bullish order flow since yesterday and may continue that today up into these highs or beyond. So that's a danger there. So you would need some good momentum, and it may be worth the chance to look for that with an internal buy side liquidity sweep. Breakdown, so break a structure here, possible inducement during the pullback here, and we've got our lower time frame M15 or M5 order block here with imbalance to go short from, stop loss just above the high, right, and we can target wherever we need to target. Something like this could happen today, right? We would want the sell side liquidity of DXY to be taken as well, preferably, but we may get divergence there instead. Now, the way I see it, this could be much better up here. As I said, this could keep going up to this point, and we could now look for it up here, right, with this higher time frame buy side liquidity high rather than this sort of internal area here. And then we get the breakdown, right? And then we get the pullback back up to this area, lower time frame order block with imbalance to trade short. So breaker structure possibly around here, possible inducement from the pullback around here, lower time frame order block with imbalance, let's say here, with our order set, stop loss just above the highs to target wherever we need to target. So it could look like that. So obviously there's those two options, internal buy side liquidity from Asia, and then we've got a more external higher time frame buy side liquidity resting above, which would be probably a better source of buy side liquidity just because it's a higher time frame high, right? We've got all of this sell side liquidity trend line sort of happening on the higher time frame as well. So it's definitely still one to be patient for. I wouldn't want to rush into it again because like I said yesterday, I think price is just slowly correctively going up, and you may have to be willing, if you're going to short from here, to try and short again from there. It could be one of those sort of situations, but we can wait for patience, right? If this does happen and it breaks down, pulls back and happens again, then maybe we can wait for this second one here and see how price creates something around this area to continue going short. So I think that's everything from me. I'm advising caution, of course. Just high time frames are a bit corrective and a bit shitty. Let's see what price does with the liquidity internally or externally and see if that breaks down. We'll keep an eye out for longs, but like I said, at the moment, I don't like long in these sort of areas. So I hope you gained value from that. Any questions, let me know in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.